I'm Rita. And this is the story of how my family rejected me, how they claimed my presence irritated them, and how I turned that rejection into the greatest success of my life. But this story isn't just about me, it's about you too. The ones who've ever felt overlooked, misunderstood, or, worst of all, rejected by the ones you love. You'll want to hear this. Ever since I can remember, I never quite fit in. With every family gathering, every holiday dinner, there was always this uncomfortable energy when I walked into the room. I could feel their eyes on me, their judgment weighing down on me. They said I was too much, too loud, too intense, too different. And honestly, I began to believe them. Each time I was told I didn't belong, it stung. Each rejection, whether in small words or cold silences, cut deeper than the last. It felt like no matter how hard I tried, no matter what I did, I was always the odd one out. But here's where the story begins to change. I wasn't going to let this rejection define me. I couldn't. Not anymore. I had to prove them wrong. I had to show them that being too much was actually my strength. And so, I started working harder. I built something of my own. Something they could never take away from me. I knew I couldn't change how they saw me. But I could change how I saw myself. So I decided to build my own path. I chose the hard road. The one that required sacrifice, grit, and resilience. It wasn't going to be easy, but that's what made it worth it. I faced failures. I lost sleep. There were moments when I wondered if this would even work. But I kept going. Because I realized something crucial. I didn't need their approval to be successful. I needed my own belief in myself. Then, the first spark of success came. It wasn't huge at first, but it was mine. I remember the moment clearly. My phone lit up with an email, a breakthrough. I had secured my first major contract. And suddenly, the doubt that had once haunted me was replaced by a growing sense of power. I kept going. Each new opportunity felt like a slap in the face of those who once rejected me. Slowly, steadily, the world began to notice. They couldn't ignore me anymore. And that felt good. You know, revenge doesn't always look like confrontation. Sometimes, the sweetest revenge is simply living your truth, unapologetically. And that's exactly what I did. The more I achieved, the more they started hearing about it. At first, I didn't notice. But then I started to see subtle changes, texts, phone calls, apologies. They all wanted a piece of my success, and that's when I realized something important. They didn't come back because of my success. They came back because they saw the person I had become. They saw strength. They saw power. And they were now witnessing the consequences of their rejection. But here's the thing, I'm not doing this for their approval. I did this for me. At some point, I realized I had to face them. To confront the people who had doubted me, who had turned their backs on me. But this wasn't about anger. It was about reclaiming my power. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I simply told them the truth. I told them how their rejection hurt me, how it almost broke me, but how it also pushed me to become the person I am today. And for the first time, they listened. It's funny, isn't it? How life works. The ones who once dismissed you can sometimes be the ones who come to appreciate you the most. But here's what I learned. I didn't need them to change for me to succeed. I just needed to believe in myself. I got my revenge not by tearing them down, but by building myself up. And that's something no one can take away from me. My story is my own. And now, I finally feel free. So, to anyone out there who's ever felt rejected or overlooked, just remember this: the best revenge is success. Not to rub it in their faces, but to prove to yourself that you are worth every bit of the effort you put into your dreams. Don't let anyone else's opinion of you shape who you become. Your power is in your hands, and only you can unlock it. If you've enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're ready to build your own path to success, join me on this journey. The best is yet to come.